Hello everybody, Prince Icarus here, and today I'm going to be showing you a Curiosity Shop showcase. Now this is something I built in Sims 4 on the Xbox One using packs like the Vampire Pack, the Get to Work Pack, and there's even some items from packs like the City Living. We don't really have a Supernatural pack in the Sims 4, PC doesn't have one yet, you know, PlayStation doesn't have one yet, but this is as much supernatural content that I can find in the packs we have so far, and even in the base game. Now, one of the things that you can do in the base game is you can brew these potions, and they're brewed through the Mixology skill, and you have to do it after you complete an aspiration associated with it. And it's this Master Mixologist reward trait, Potion Master. Potion Masters can mix potent drinks, which can sway the drinker's emotions. So most of these potions that you can drink, such as the one she's just finished, just affect emotions. The one she completed just made her happy. There's ones for flirty, there's ones for confident, there's ones for inspired, and most of them are pretty costly to make. They're going to cost around 1,000 simoleons a piece to make. And like I said, they're all pretty much just to influence emotions. And now another thing that you can do for these curiosity shops, potion wise, is you can actually sell the potions that you get from the aspiration points themselves. So if you go into the reward store and buy any of these potions, they can actually be added to your business as something you can sell and then restock afterwards. Now, I don't know why it doesn't show the price, but after you sell one of these items, you will be able to restock it. So you can spend just your 500 aspiration points on one of these potions and then never have to spend aspiration points on it again, as long as another sim from a different lot comes by, buys one, and then leaves. Now, that's what content we have potion wise. You still have things such as Voodoo Dolls, and these things are pretty fun to play around with. Depending on your mischief skill, there's a couple of different things you can do with them, such as summon other NPCs that you've met and you've bound them to. You can change their emotions, make them flirty, drain their bladder, different things like that. Now, there's little content when it comes to the Voodoo Dolls, but still supernatural content nonetheless. There's some more stuff you can do when you get into the aspirations as far as supernatural content goes. And if you go under creative, there's the musical genius, which will give you the Piper aspiration trait. And this will allow you to influence Sims' emotions or their activities with an instrument. You can make them change their clothes, you can make them clean, do different things like that. So that's a little bit of supernatural content we have. Aside from that, the majority of supernatural content actually comes from the Vampire Pack itself, and it's based on skills that they unlock as they level up as vampires, which are things such as not burning to death in sunlight, which any normal sim can do, so I guess that's not too supernatural. But you can do things like influence emotions, put other sims to sleep. There's even ones you can command sims to do things. Some of the more interesting ones, like causing hallucinations or transforming into bats, is a little bit more higher up content wise as supernatural, and that's a little bit of what we have supernatural wise. There's also a wishing well if you have the romantic garden stuff. And there's this cow plant that's in the base game that you can get fairly easily. You could breed one, or you could just fish until you get cow plant berry. I've gotten plenty of them on this character. They don't appear to be that hard to get in game. Now, as a store, I have more going for me than just the supernatural content, and that's mostly just because things like the handcrafted guitar sell for 2,000 simoleons. Things like the handcrafted violin, they don't sell too well, but you still get up to 1,000 out of them. Masterpiece paintings sell for quite a bit, if you're able to get any of them. And because you can mark up the price of them after you've already painted them, you can make them worth even more. There's a few little other things I forgot about supernatural wise. I can mark this as not for sale. It's in the base game and it's more of an Easter egg than something supernatural. But you can summon the tragic clown, which from what little bit of research I've done is an Easter egg that goes back to one of the earlier Sims games, an older NPC that they had. And apparently he just shows up on your lot and makes a lot of people really depressed. Some of the supernatural content that we can get into motion on other Sims, such like I was talking about, the irresistible slumber. I actually forgot about one of the actual supernatural things that comes with another aspiration, which I think is more funny than useful. You just summon grilled cheese. No real reason, you just summon it. I guess it's a great way to get free food if you have a family that's having a problem getting food or surviving. Now, these outfits, I try to go with more Victorian or goth-like outfits. They don't sell for too much. You get like 200. That's about it. Some of the other base game items, such as the paintings, sell for more. So if you're looking to make a lot of money out of a store, I'd personally suggest just making a store where you sell your own paintings. Surprisingly, the Voodoo Dolls sell for quite a bit. You can get them to sell for a couple thousand, or at least over 1,000. You get your 50% markup and they're already worth about 700. If you can write a best-selling book, they can be worth quite a bit. I haven't noticed too much room for profit when it comes to woodworking or anything really to do with the crafting bench here. Some of the base game drinks you can make with the mixology skill, if you can get them excellent, actually sell for some pretty high prices. And the same goes with baking or food in general. Now, if we can get any sales, you can see how some interactions might work with supernatural content between Sims. Even if we don't make a sale, we could still mess with another Sim supernatural content wise, such as the vampire abilities, putting them to sleep. Which might take a while depending on what platform you're on. I'm on Xbox One, and Sims in general is a pretty glitchy game, but overall there's some unique abilities you can, or unique things you can do with vampires. Most of it costs this kind of currency where it's just their energy, and the more you use their abilities, the more that energy goes down. There's a few other things you can do vampire-wise. You know, like I said, you can influence the emotions. You can make people energized, embarrassed. Just a couple other things that normal Sims can't do, and kind of make the game a little bit more interesting. So now that we have a couple sales going, I personally believe that every customer should get a free nap to go with their purchase. That's just me. But, you know, The Sims apparently doesn't believe that. Holy turn invisible. What the hell? It's fucking spooky. Where did they go? What? What? Why is the spooky clown talking to my toilet? Why is my wife standing around being useless? Oh yeah, autonomy turned off. Now there's a couple different themes I wanted to work on while making this build. I wanted it to look modern yet Victorian. I wanted it to look inviting. I wanted it to resemble, you know, a home, yet still resemble a business at the same time. I believe the open light with the windows and the open floor space kind of adds that inviting feel or that comfortable feel to it without having too much stuff crammed in one area. I really enjoyed making this build. I learned a lot about the Get to Work pack and a lot about the retail businesses in general while making this build. A couple of the things I think that bring this build together is the garden full of the herbs and moving plants and more interesting looking plants of the game. I really liked touching on some of the themes that you see in some of the curiosity shops we have even out where I live. Crystals, people believe, give them different types of energy. You have potions, you have voodoo dolls, you have old tomes stacked on each other, you have some more abstract looking paintings. Making this build was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. I want to make more videos like this in the future and do more builds like this in the future. I'd like to thank you guys for making it this far in a video. This is my first time recording by myself without someone else to talk to, so I've been kind of babbling to myself nervously this whole time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to make more like these in the future.